want to let you in on a little secret. You didn't actually have to do science in order to teach these standards, because I'd argue that these standards did not accurately reflect the discipline. Reading, answering questions, completing workbook pages, those all can get kids to recite discrete facts. Did they understand the significance of the science? Did they understand how scientists came to those conclusions? Did they appreciate how science plays a part in their daily lives? No, but that wasn't in those standards nor on the test. So science in our classrooms became a hollow shell of itself, if it was even taught at all. And these were notably dark times in science education. But thankfully, and I really do mean thankfully, change is the only constant in life. And I'm sure that we would all agree in this room that we are living in the single greatest time of change in education's history here in the United States. With the adoption of the next generation science standards and the development of the preschool learning foundations in the area of science, we can no longer portray science as a passive process or a list of facts to simply know. Yes, there are still disciplinary core ideas that students must grapple with over time, but science is a process, and an active process at that students must engage in just as scientists and engineers do in their day-to-day work. Finally, we have a beautiful marriage of both content and process in the NGSS. Every performance expectation starts with an active phrase that denotes how students may engage with content, and a broader theme that provides a context for exploration. Learning now must be rich and multifaceted. A little example for you. This year, an incredible group of kindergarten students, under the leadership of their amazing teacher, Mrs. Stephanie Burcombe, embarked on a year-long Twitter Buddy partnership with a classroom in Texas. You may recall earlier this year, though, that Texas experienced severe flooding and many families were displaced from their homes. The empathetic Burcombe bunch, as they are affectionately known, wanted to know how they could help their friends. And after attending an introductory NGSS training, Mrs. Burcombe had an idea about how her and her class could take their very first steps from the 1998 standards towards the NGSS. As a class, they decided they wanted to build flotation devices to help keep their friends safe during the flooding. These are kindergartners, remember. They tested potential building materials in tubs of water, collected data, and classified materials into two groups. Materials that would be appropriate for flotation devices and those that weren't. They sketched possible designs, built them, tested, and refined them, all while remaining focused on what they saw as their very real need, the safety of their friends. Not only did they learn about the design process, but they also learned that they, even as kindergartners, have the ability to solve the problems they see in their world. This is exciting and empowering. This is the power of science and engineering. But you know what? It's also math, reading, writing, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and you guessed it, creativity. To do science, we must engage in each of these because science cannot and should not ever stand alone. And I'm thrilled that we have a new generation of young scientists, like the Burcombe bunch, experiencing this rebirth of science education. Now, science certainly isn't the only discipline to have undergone significant change in the past 5 years, and nor will it be the last. We can very much have the same conversation about reading, mathematics, social studies, and so on. These changes are also reflected in the new ELA, ELD standards and throughout the curricula here in California. We all have changes all around. And you know what? Change hurts. It's hard. And some would say that change poses problems. I'd prefer to consider them as opportunities for personal and professional growth. But either way, problems or opportunities, no matter what grade level or subject area, we all have a choice to make regarding change. And for the sake of our children, I hope that we all choose to be part of the solution. But I'll be honest, because I'm a little bit greedy, and I hope you'll forgive me, because I hope that we all choose to lead that change in some way. And that might look different for different people. Maybe it means volunteering to try out a new lesson sequence, or asking to attend a conference and sharing your findings with your colleagues. Maybe it's leading a professional book club for your department or PLC team. But whatever it is, like our students, we all need to take an active role in this process. Thus far, I've been so fortunate to see our teachers take their first steps forward towards addressing what I see as science education's image problem. And together, we are trying to reimagine an education where science, math, art, reading, and writing all work in concert to produce a cohesive educational experience for our students. Like our disciplines, we truly are all better together than we ever could be apart. So, as we get ready to start this next school year, I challenge us all to remember those beliefs that we called to mind just a little bit ago. Reflect on them. Think about how we can sustain and foster those beliefs as we travel through this sea of change. And remember that change, though difficult, is an opportunity for personal and professional growth, if that's the choice we make. So consider carefully what role we all play in this process, because our students are going to take their lead from us. And they're counting on us, all of us, to lead the way down the path to a brighter future. Thank you.